The past can feel like a heavy weight holding us back from living a full and joyful life. But the truth is, those feelings of hurt, anger, or resentment are not permanent states, and they are choices we've made about how to see the world, and we have the power to choose differently. Our perspective shapes our experiences. It influences our relationships and determines the quality of our lives. When we change our perspective, we open the door to a whole new world of possibilities. Blaming others might feel good for a moment, a fleeting sense of righteousness, a way to vent frustration, but what does it really give us? It keeps us stuck in the past, replaying old wounds and grievances. Blame is a heavy chain that ties us to the very things we wish to escape. When we point the finger outward, we're essentially saying, "You are the reason for my pain." We're giving away our power, handing over the keys to our happiness to someone else. But what happens when that person is no longer around, or when they refuse to take responsibility? We remain prisoners of our own bitterness. And what about self-blame? It's a different kind of prison, one built on shame and regret. We tell ourselves, if only I had done things differently, this wouldn't have happened. But this kind of thinking only leads to a downward spiral of negativity. It robs us of the chance to learn from our mistakes and move forward. Blame, whether directed at others or ourselves, is a form of denial. It's a refusal to accept what is, the reality of what happened, the pain it caused, and the lessons it holds. And it's a way of avoiding responsibility for our own healing and happiness. The truth is, no one else can heal us but ourselves. No one else can make us happy but ourselves. It's a journey we must take on our own, and it begins with taking responsibility for our own well-being. This doesn't mean ignoring the wrongdoing of others or pretending that everything is okay. It means recognizing that holding on to blame won't change the past. It won't undo the hurt. It won't bring us peace. Instead, we must choose to focus on what we can control, our own thoughts, feelings, and actions. We must choose to let go of the anger and resentment that weigh us down. We must choose to create a new story for ourselves, one that doesn't revolve around blame and victimhood. And it's a difficult path, no doubt, but it's also the most empowering one. When we take responsibility for our own healing, we reclaim our power. We become the authors of our own lives, free to write a new chapter filled with joy, peace, and purpose. Forgiveness, my friend, is not about letting someone off the hook. It's not about saying what happened was okay or that it didn't matter. True forgiveness is a gift you give yourself. It's a way to release the heavy burden of anger, resentment, and pain that you've been carrying. Think of forgiveness as a key that unlocks the door to your own heart. When we forgive, we're not condoning the actions of others. We're simply acknowledging that holding on to anger only hurts us. It keeps us chained to the past, preventing us from moving forward and creating a brighter future. Forgiveness is about making peace with what happened. It's about accepting that the past cannot be changed, but our response to it can. It's about choosing to let go of the negative emotions that hold us back and opening our hearts to healing and growth. Lack of trust often stems from fear, the fear of being hurt, betrayed, or disappointed again. It's a natural response to pain, but it can also keep us from experiencing the fullness of life. Trusting the process of life means accepting that pain is inevitable. It's part of the human experience, but suffering, that's optional. Suffering is what happens when we resist the pain, when we try to control it, or when we allow it to consume us. Self-trust is a crucial part of this process. It's about believing in your own resilience, your own strength, and your own ability to handle whatever life throws your way. It's about knowing that even when you fall, you can always get back up again. When we trust the process, we stop fighting against reality. We stop trying to force things to be different than they are. We surrender to the flow of life, knowing that even during darkness, there is always light. Life will always throw us curveballs. We'll face challenges, setbacks, and disappointments. But in every situation, no matter how difficult, we always have a choice. We can choose how we respond. We can choose to react with anger, fear, and resentment, or we can choose a different path. Imagine this. You're standing at a crossroads. One path leads to love, peace, and trust. The other leads to fear, anger, and doubt. Which path will you choose? Choosing love over fear means opening our hearts to others, even when we've been hurt before. It means seeing the good in people, even when they've made mistakes. Choosing peace over anger means letting go of grudges and resentments, understanding that holding on to them only hurts us. Choosing trust over doubt means believing in the goodness of life, even when things don't go as planned. These choices are not always easy, but they are always available to us, and with each choice we make, we shape our reality. We create a life that is more positive, more fulfilling, and more in alignment with our deepest values. The stories we tell ourselves about our lives have incredible power. They shape our beliefs, our emotions, and our actions. If we're constantly replaying stories of hurt and betrayal, we'll create a reality filled with pain and suffering. But what if we could change the narrative? What if we could rewrite our stories in a way that empowers us, uplifts us, and helps us to heal? Reframing your story means looking at past experiences from a different perspective. It means challenging the negative beliefs you formed about yourself and the world around you. It means finding the hidden gifts and lessons in even the most difficult situations. For example, instead of seeing yourself as a victim of a painful experience, you might choose to see yourself as a survivor, a thriver, someone who has overcome adversity and emerged stronger than before. Instead of focusing on what you've lost, you might choose to focus on what you've gained: wisdom, compassion, resilience. Reframing your story is not about denying the pain you've experienced. It's about finding a new way to make meaning of it, a way that empowers you to move forward with hope and optimism. It's about choosing to create a new narrative for your life, one that is filled with light, love, and possibility. In a world that often values toughness and stoicism, vulnerability can feel like a risk. We're taught to guard our hearts, to hide our weaknesses, to project an image of strength. But what if I told you that true strength lies in vulnerability? Vulnerability is not weakness. It's the courage to show up authentically, to let others see our true selves, with all our imperfections and insecurities. It's about opening our hearts to the possibility of pain, but also to the potential for deeper connection and love. Think about it. When you allow yourself to be vulnerable with someone, you're essentially saying, "I trust you enough to see me as I am." This act of trust creates a space for deeper intimacy, understanding, and compassion. It allows us to build stronger relationships, not just with others, but also with ourselves. Vulnerability is not about oversharing or seeking pity. It's about being honest about our feelings, our fears, and our struggles. It's about letting go of the need to be perfect and allowing ourselves to be seen, heard, and loved for who we are. Start by sharing your feelings with someone you trust, a friend, family member, therapist, or mentor. Practice being open and honest about what's going on in your life, both the good and the bad. Keep in mind that vulnerability is a skill that takes time and practice to develop, but the rewards are immeasurable. Our healing is not just about us. It's about the people we love, the surroundings we belong to, and the world we live in. When we choose to heal our own wounds, we create a ripple effect that extends far beyond ourselves. Think of it like a stone thrown into a pond. The ripples spread outward, touching everything in their path. In the same way, our own healing can inspire and uplift those around us. When we choose forgiveness, trust, and love, we create a more peaceful and harmonious environment for everyone. We become beacons of light, showing others that it's possible to overcome adversity, to heal from pain, and to create a life filled with joy and purpose. Our own transformation can inspire others to start on their own healing journeys, creating a chain reaction of positive change. Recall that you are not alone in this journey. Your healing matters, not just for you, but for the world around you. So dare to be vulnerable, dare to heal, and dare to make a difference. Your courage and compassion can create a ripple effect that changes the world for the better. Today, we've taken a journey together, a journey of understanding and possibility. We've seen how the lens through which we view the world colors our experiences, shapes our feelings, and guides our actions. We've recognized the power of blame to hold us captive, and the freedom that comes from taking responsibility for our own well-being. We've learned that forgiveness is not a sign of weakness, but a profound act of self-love. It's a choice to release the burdens of the past and open our hearts to healing. We've discovered that trust is not blind faith, but a willingness to be vulnerable, to believe in our own resilience, and to open ourselves to the possibilities that life has to offer. Above all, we've seen that we always have a choice. We can choose to cling to old stories of hurt and resentment, or we can choose to rewrite our narratives, transforming pain into wisdom and growth. We can choose to react with fear and anger, or we can choose to respond with love, compassion, and understanding. The path to healing is not always easy. It takes courage, perseverance, and a willingness to look within. But the rewards are immeasurable. As you step forward on this path, recall that you are not alone. There are countless others who have walked this path before you, and countless more who will walk it with you. So take a deep breath, gather your strength, and choose to create a life that is filled with joy, peace, and purpose. Your journey begins now. This is just the beginning. There is so much more to discover, so much more healing and growth to be found. Keep exploring, keep growing, and keep choosing love. And if this message resonated with you, please show your support by liking this video and subscribing to the channel for more content like this.